Hello guys, my name is Nina and today I want to talk about something that has been on my mind after seeing Lily Phillips in the media. Recently, she made headlines for sleeping with 101 men in one day and now has set her sights on 1000 men in one day. There's a lot to unpack here and I want to share my thoughts on it, especially as a 17-year-old. So let's dive into it. First off, there is something deeply troubling about Lily's situation. From what I see, there seems to be some trauma behind her actions, and I guess we all realize it. A deep lack of self-worth. It's not about judgment, but when you look at the way she is approaching her relationships and sexuality, you can sense that there is a bigger emotional struggle going on. It's almost as if she's trying to fill a void, and the way she goes about it is through these extreme actions. It does not seem healthy, and it's clear that she's still wrestling with understanding her own value. Now let's talk about the whole situation with her sleeping with 101 men in a single day. Honestly, it's shocking, but at the same time, I think it speaks to something bigger. She says she wants to break the record for sleeping with 1000 men, and while it may sound like a choice, there is something more to it. You can't ignore that this may be a coping mechanism or even a cry for attention. What's interesting and very concerning is that she seems to think this is empowerment. But the reality is, it's actually a distraction. It's a bit of distortion. You see, she also made a comment about how people objectify her, and her response was, "Why not just do it myself?" This statement is so problematic. That is not exactly what she said. This is how I remembered her response. Sure, on its surface, it might seem like a way to take control of her narrative, but it's actually just reinforcing the same issue. Objectification doesn't go away by participating in it willingly. It's still a problem underneath the surface. I think Lily's decision to pursue this path is more about reclaiming control over something she feels she has lost. But in doing so, she may be ignoring the deeper emotional issues at play. This isn't the kind of empowerment that leads to long-term healing. It's a temporary distraction from something that needs more attention and care. What is even more concerning is how Lily seems to view her own body. It's almost as if she sees it just as a hole for men to enter, and here I don't mean to insult anyone, it is how I feel about the whole situation considering her desire to sleep with 1000 men in a day. She reduces herself to that, and it's heartbreaking because it's clear that she doesn't see her body as something sacred or deserving to respect. I think this is a sign of deeper issues she's not addressing because she doesn't see it for now. Lily also mentioned that she wants her name to be remembered, but the sad truth is if she continues down this path, it's not going to be remembered as a legend. It will only be remembered as a moment of hype, a fleeting headline that fades away. And that's the problem with our generation, right? We are so obsessed with being remembered, of making a splash, but we forget that true legacies are built on real depth and substance, not just attention-grabbing actions. This also ties into how intimacy is viewed nowadays. It's becoming less and less important in a world where people are just looking for quick fixes to fill a void, if you know what I mean. But true intimacy, emotional and physical, is something sacred. It's not something that should be used to get attention or to prove a point. And this approach to intimacy, where it's disconnected from anything meaningful, is absolutely troubling, and it's I'm almost crying because intimacy is not as valued as I want it to be. Now let's talk about Lily's interview with Candace Owens. To be honest, I was really thrown off by how Lily came across. It felt like she was trying to excuse herself the entire time, like she wasn't being sincere about what she was doing or why, and probably that is not her fault. I personally subjectively feel like she doesn't know what she is doing and she doesn't know why, but she keeps doing it just as a kid or as a teenager trying to figure out what she wants out of this life. And here, guys, I don't want to insult her. I definitely don't mean to insult her. This is just how I feel. and you can express yourself in the comments as well. The interview, it wasn't even about taking responsibility for her choices or acknowledging the bigger issues at play. Instead, it seemed like she was justifying her actions without really facing the consequences or the emotional weight of them. Or maybe she still didn't figure it out herself. There was a lack of depth in the conversation, and it made me wonder if Lily is really aware of the full impact of what she is doing, or if she's just putting up a front. She didn't seem like she was being real, and that's concerning because it shows she's not being honest with herself, first of all, or with the people listening to her. My respect to Candace though, she tried to make her understand something. Another issue I want to highlight is the people surrounding Lily, particularly her assistants or her team. To be blunt, I don't think they have her best interest at heart. It's clear that they're just using her for money. They're not trying to help her or protect her. They're just there to make them profit, to make sure that they profit off of her actions. They are enabling her behavior because it's creating a spectacle, a headline, and they're capitalizing on it. But that's not helping Lily in any real way. If anything, they're just furthering her cycle of self-destructing choices and emotional detachment. The craziest thing is that you can't blame them. They're doing their job and they don't necessarily have to care about her mental health, and Lily is making good money as well. And then there is an issue of her parents. Honestly, it's mind-blowing to me how they responded to all of this. They seem to be accepting of what she's doing and just shrug it off as her choice. I get that as an adult, Lily is free to make her own decisions, but there is still difference between respecting someone's choices and watching them self-destruct without offering any guidance or support. I personally feel like if they truly cared about her well-being, they'd be having deeper conversations with their daughter, helping her explore why she feels the need to do something so extreme, and encouraging her to find healthier ways to heal. It's one thing to say it's her body, her choice, but at what point do we step in as parents to help our children navigate this tough decisions? Listen, I am not a parent, but I would definitely not accept my kid ruin herself doing that. Where do we draw a line between being supportive and being complicit in something that could hurt them in a long run? It's crazy to me that in situations like this, where there is a clear emotional distress, her parents and assistants are just standing by, assuming everything will work it out itself. There is no real dialogue happening, and that's dangerous. At a certain point, love isn't just about letting someone do whatever they want, it's about helping them find better ways to handle their pain. True love is about guiding, nurturing, and helping our loved ones avoid paths that could hurt them, but clearly this story is not about love. I think this situation speaks to a bigger problem in society where we are so focused on the freedom of choice that we sometimes forget to protect and guide younger people through their most vulnerable years. And we just let them go without any real support, saying it's their choice, their life, their choice. We end up seeing them struggle in ways that could have been prevented with the right guidance. So that's my take. I believe Lily Phillips is dealing with a lot more than what we see on the surface, and it's heartbreaking because as an adult she should be in a position to make better choices. But when you've been through so much emotional trauma, it's hard to make decisions that truly reflect your worth. I hope that one day she can see her own value outside of how others perceive her and how many men go through her. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Do you think what Lily is doing is empowering, which is really weird to say it out loud, or do you think it's just another form of self-objectification? And what do you think about the people around her, like her assistants and parents? Let me know in the comments below, and if you found this video meaningful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time, hopefully. Bye!